Alright, let's address the elephant in the room. So today we're going to be looking at a subreddit that I have seen quite a few people talk about recently. It's kind of been blowing up on YouTube all over the place. So I really wanted to take a look at it today and see what's really going on, because I have not actually looked at it at all. And that subreddit is Am I Overreacting? Which is a subreddit to help figure out if you're overreacting to something or if you were justified, which it says right there. So you're welcome. I read that out for you anyway. Now before I get into the video, I do want to mention I bought a new camera. I'm sure you can tell by looking at the quality of this video. I'd also like to mention that I am just now getting over the tail end of a cold that I had. I was ill for a couple of days. Actually, probably about a week now. I'm still kind of getting over it. I have a little bit of a cough left, but let's not focus on that too much. And let's get right into what we're actually talking about today, which is, am I overreacting? And the very first post that I want to look at is this one. So for context, we're not even dating. Okay, so very important context here. I'm waking to Walgreens, wanna come. Yeah, I can hang out for a bit, lol. I'm gonna go in sweats though. For a bit? Never mind. Alright, off to a good start. I gotta wash my clothes, I have a huge pile. Why never mind? I just can't hang out all day. Okay, that's your choice. I come first. That's not changing. Alright, remember the context? Remember the context here? We're not even dating. This is just a random dude, or like a friend or something. Or maybe someone on a dating app. So here we go. I mean, I need clothes. I gotta have clothes for the week. All my going out clothes is dirty. Fair enough. Okay, so I said never mind. And my sheets smell because I've been sweating, but I can hang out for a while before I go to wash my clothes. Okay, so that's an interesting text to include there. That's okay. I want to hang out with you. I just have my own responsibilities too. I can't live life smelling dirty. I can do both. Hang out with you first and then do my laundry after. I'm not telling you to quit your responsibilities. I just don't want to hang out if you have other things to do. I've said this. It's not going to change. Fine. You don't have to be a dick. So, this conversation is already kind of strange. I'm not sure what's really going on here. I'm not being a dick. I can do both things. I just can't stay and hang out all day like I do because I need to wash my clothes and get this stuff done so I have clothes for the week and sheets to sleep on. I just don't see why me having other things to do in your eyes makes it that I can't do anything with you at all because I have responsibilities to myself. That's a fair point, but please start using commas and actually any punctuation at all. That's very difficult to figure out where to actually pause there. That's just how it is now. I come first. Should have done your responsibilities the whole week I was gone. And honestly, I don't care what excuse you have. You don't be a dick to me. We have to also remember the context here that we're not even dating. I'm also looking at this. Am I overreacting? Is she being reasonable at all? So this is a woman that the original poster is talking to here, which is interesting. The phrasing of I come first in both I come first, that's not changing, and I come first, should have done your responsibilities the whole week I was gone is interesting. So let's continue. They got dirty. I've been washing every week. All my stuff doesn't just stay clean all week. I use them. Okay, again, do not be a dick to me. Period. You're making excuses. Interesting. Okay. I'm not making excuses. I just think it's ridiculous that because I have stuff to do, you don't want to hang out with me. Okay, so you're still going to be a dick. I'm not being a dick. I was saying how I think it's ridiculous. Because I've yet to hear an apology or you stopping, so I'd rather talk to you later. Dude, I didn't do anything. I'm telling you, you're being a dick. You're giving me every reason for why you're being a dick, but not stopping the dick part. So, should I just talk to you later since you're not understanding? Dude, I said I wanted to hang out with you. You're doing the all or nothing thing again. Chill out. Again? Ooh. Oh, we have an interesting development here. You're doing the all or nothing thing again. Chill out. So, this appears to me like this might not be the first time that this has happened. That is an interesting development indeed. Let's continue. No, this is how it is. But again, I'm holding your hand and you're continuing to not listen. So I'll talk to you when you're ready to apologize and be nice. What do you think? Nope. What do you mean this is how it is? We talked yesterday. You asked me what I had planned. I told you I had my... What do you mean this is how it is? We talked yesterday. You asked me what I had planned. I told you I had to wash my clothes and clean my apartment. You knew this. Okay, and again, you being a dick is the problem. So still waiting on that apology. Don't text me unless you understand. Dude, your mentality doesn't make sense. I don't understand it, and all I said was fine because you're being like this. That's the immediate part where you called me a dick. Still talking when I've made it very clear I don't want to talk to you unless you understand and apologize. Which means if you don't understand and are not sorry, do not talk to me. So, this is a very interesting post. I think the most important part is this first page. Essentially, the conversation goes, I'm going to Walgreens, do you want to come with me? Yes, I can hang out for a bit, but I gotta go in my casual clothes, whatever, it doesn't matter. For a bit, never mind. So, suddenly, it's off the table. Waking to Walgreens is off the table because it's only for a bit. You have to spend a lot of time in Walgreens. It's one of those shops. What happened next was I gotta wash my clothes. I have a huge pile. Why never mind? Which, valid question. I would ask the same. I said, I can hang out for a bit. For a bit, never mind. And then, why never mind? I just can't hang out all day in Walgreens, obviously. Why would you want to do that? So then we get this I come first idea, and then again repeating the same thing essentially. And then I'm not telling you to quit your responsibilities. I just don't want to hang out if you have other things to do. I've said this, it's not going to change. Which, as far as I can tell from this, it doesn't really look like whoever it is quitting their responsibilities. It just looks like they're saying, I can hang out for a certain period of time, which, generally speaking, when people hang out, they don't hang out all day. They do it for a certain period of time, right? And so there's a very interesting text exchange. I would say no. I don't think there's any overreacting going on here. I think it's a bit strange to call someone a dick over this and continue to do so and then ask for an apology like they're in the wrong. I think that is I don't want to use too much harsh language here, but I believe there's a bit of manipulation going on here now, especially considering they're not even in a relationship yet. It seems a little off to me. I'm gonna let everyone else also decide what they think. And I'm gonna check the comments because I personally don't see any overreacting happening here, so I want to check the comments and see what the commenters think. Don't even reply anymore, block and move on. That is exactly what I was thinking. Don't even reply, don't even go back near that person unless they're willing to understand and apologize. Let's go on to the next post. I'm not sure I can show this one. Ooh, here's one with a picture. And a lot of text. Ooh, this one's going to be interesting. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to look at the pictures first, and then I'm going to read the text for the full context of what's going on here. This is a picture, obviously, of a gift that was sent to someone, and a note was sent back that says, "No, thank you. I don't feel it is appropriate for me to accept a gift for myself and my child from someone who doesn't believe I am equipped to be a mother." Ooh. Okay. Let's have a look at this then. Uncle whatever, Happy Mother's Day, blah blah blah. I wanted to wait until I cooled off before I responded, but I still only want to say, f*** off. It sounds like you are still really furious with me over what I said in September. My uncle believes in me. You lost my respect. I sat there and cried while you treated me like I'm to be held responsible for my mother's terrible decisions. It sounds like you feel betrayed, and it sounds like my words cut really deeply. It sucks to see who you've become. You always encouraged me when I was younger to push my limits. It was not your words that hurt, it was your intentions. I will own every single one of my decisions and everything that comes with those decisions, especially the decisions that led to me having a son. But I will not let you treat me like I have no answers for someone else's life choices. And it says, it sounds like you feel disrespected. Thanks, Uncle Therapist. Let's read the text here. Okay. I am 23 female. My uncle, 40s, has lived in a different city or state for most of my life, so we don't spend a whole lot of time together. When I was growing up. Oh, we didn't spend a whole lot of time together when I was growing up. But when he visited, he always used to tell me I was his favorite. He would constantly challenge me to push myself, whether it was hiking or an opportunity to for competition or anything of the sort. He always knew exactly how to get me to do my best. He lives a few hundred miles away and drives up for family functions such as holidays. Everything changed 2 years ago at a family function when I announced my pregnancy to the family. My uncle stood up and walked out of the house without a word. He just left. Later on, he had asked me to help him build his cabin and I agreed. I was early in the pregnancy, about 3 months. I knew he wasn't happy about it, but I had faith that if he wasn't ready to talk, that he wouldn't bring it up. It was very quiet for a while, and then he started talking. I would say congratulations, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not happy for you. Ooh, okay. Very harsh. Alright. He proceeded to talk about all of my mother's faults and mistakes and paint himself as the hero who swooped in to save the day. He said my mother was not fit to be a mother and that he offered to pay for her to get her Whoa! He offered to pay for her to get her tubes tied. Okay, this is very strange. He then said he has too many responsibilities to be there to take responsibility for my child. At this point, I was already in tears and couldn't say much of anything. I was simply standing there pregnant and sobbing as he continued to say horrible things. I'm not fit to be a mother. I should give up my child for adoption, etc. At no point did I ask him for help or his input of any kind. I did not need his help. I was in love with the fact that I was creating life. I was going to be a mother. He simply decided I was destined to be a horrible mother and drilled into me how terrible it was that I was pregnant. Standing there in a partially built dry cabin, I felt paralyzed. Between the hormones and the conversation, I had no idea what to do. When he brought up adoption, I told him, "This is my child, my responsibility, and I will love, protect, and provide for him no matter what." He took that as an opportunity to try to talk me out of keeping the baby. Important to note that he and I hadn't spent time together in years. Our last meaningful time spent together was when I was around the age of 10. He didn't know any details of my life or have any idea the person I'd become. Outside of saying hello and goodbye at family gatherings, we hadn't talked in years. I cut contact with him and haven't spoken to him other than a few text messages. Only because he decided to message me, "Happy Mother's Day." This year he sent a gift for me and my son. I was upset that he would try to act so nonchalantly after an... I've actually never seen that word before. What does this mean? Nothing. I assume it was supposed to be interaction. After an interaction like that. It has been 2 years since that awful interaction. However, he has never once attempted to apologize or acknowledge that he overstepped. I returned the gifts to him with a note that reads, "No thank you, I don't feel it's appropriate for me to accept a gift for myself and my child from someone who doesn't believe I'm equipped to be a mother." I was stuck on what I should do because I don't want him thinking he can speak to me and treat me that way and we can just move on with no reconciliation. But I also feel petty for returning the gift and I don't want family rifts or drama. I'm not sure what the right move was in that situation. I just know I did not feel comfortable accepting gifts from someone who was so insistent I would fail. Especially a gift from my son, who he insisted I must give up for adoption. Anyway, am I overreacting? With that added context, I can now say, this is the note that the poster who's posting this wrote for the uncle. And the person in the blue text is the person sending this back with this note. Okay, we have the full context now. I think the uncle is being very strangely patronizing, I think. And in this message that is being sent right here, I think it's a good message. Do I think it's overreacting? I think this is not overreacting. I think this is perfectly valid. Given all of this context that's included here, I think it is perfectly valid to send this message back with the gift. I think any other reaction to it would, I don't know, it would allow the relationship to go on the way it is without pointing out something that is absolutely very, very important. I would also like to say, this sounds like someone who is trying to act like a counselor or like a therapist or something, who has never done any training or had any sort of education in mental health, just attempting for no reason to try and be a therapist, which is very strange. I think if someone sends you these kinds of messages, it is a good idea, generally speaking, to not only listen to what they're saying, which it looks like the uncle is doing here, but also to either explain your side or apologize. And I say explain your side because it's very easy to do what this uncle has done and ignore it. But for anyone else who sees this, it's extremely difficult to defend someone who, one, isn't defending themselves, and two, isn't explaining why they're doing what they're doing. It's very, very difficult to understand why the uncle has this perspective. And honestly, I don't think an explanation would help much, but I think it would make it less condescending than this. It sounds like you're coming from a perfectly reasonable point of view. And it sounds like your criticisms are valid. It sounds like I'm an asshole. Let's have a look at the comments. Let's see what people are saying. It sounds like you should shut the fuck up, Uncle Know-It-All, not overreacting. I think that is a perfect summary of what is happening in this post. I think this is his attempt at active listening. As a pastor, he probably has to take a course. A pastor? Where did this... Oh, I did not mean to click into someone's profile. Where did this information come from? What? Ah, here we go. More context. Strange relationship to have with an uncle. If my uncle said something like that, it would be such a shock and out of left field. Honestly, I would have returned it too, especially because he wasn't trying to apologize to you. The text message he made seemed like you were in therapy and he was the doctor. He's a pastor, so yeah, he's got an act going on. Okay, now that we have that added context on top of that, it seems like he's not taking this very seriously at all. He's not being sincere in the slightest. Not overreacting. You're perfectly valid in what you're saying. Here we go. Yeah, this is what I was saying. His responses to your messages are condescending and patronizing. He does not acknowledge that his poor behavior caused this. I might suggest that you add to your note, I kept my child and aborted my uncle. You are no longer my family. You know what? Sure. Am I overreacting? My ex texted me this on my way home from work yesterday. Colored out the names for privacy, but y'all, I can't make this shit up. I got off work at 5, went and got gas, and stopped at the car wash on my way home. I work an hour away from my house, so the wash is 30 minutes from work, 30 minutes from my house. My city is so small, we don't even have a car wash, and the closest city with a car wash just so happens to be the one my ex lives in. As far as I knew, We didn't end on bad terms. About 2 years ago, I found out my mom had cancer. I know I said over a year in the texts. I was so livid I couldn't remember exactly. And I tried to call him and got ghosted on every text or call. Since then, I just forgot about him, moved on, started a new relationship that I've been in for about a year and a half now, started a new job, and just have been doing my own thing. The whole situation is just bonkers. I'm very excited to find out what happens in this conversation. I'm going to refer to whoever posted this, whoever is the blue text, as OP. OP, you need to stop showing up in my city. I'm sorry, who is this? X's name. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, wow. Laughing emojis. I'm not showing up in your city, LMAO. Stop playing dumb. I just saw you not even 20 minutes ago at the car wash by my house. We live 30 minutes from each other. That's the closest car wash to my house. You're fucking delusional, lol. I'm delusional, but you were texting me asking what happened to us, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing... Oh, okay. We're missing a bit of context here. I assume seeing you nearby or whatever. I texted you that over a year ago because I found out my mom had cancer and you ghosted me out of nowhere. I had no friends because you isolated me from them, so I turned to the one person I did have, or at least thought I could confide in. Is this some kind of sick-ass joke? Do you really think my world revolves around you entirely? I never said your world revolved around me. I said you need to stop coming around my house. It's not healthy. Alright, so already, I'm not even finished reading it yet, but already I'm kind of feeling a little bit of a narcissistic personality coming off the person that OP is texting, the X here. But I don't know if that's if I should be labeling someone so quickly, but that's what I'm seeing here, especially when we get even further into the conversation. Why aren't you responding to me? This is the last text that was sent, because this conversation is literally making me lose brain cells, and I don't think it's worth my time. I forgot about you a long time ago, literally went to a car wash on my way home from work. Are you actually that fucking dense? There's nothing for us to even talk about. You just want everything to be about you so badly that you can't fathom any other possibility. It's insane. Please seek help. Go to therapy. Talk to your new girlfriend. I don't care. Just leave me alone. This is very interesting. I'm just going to go out and say not overreacting. Okay? Because, and I'll explain. The X in this post texted out of the blue when OP went to the closest car wash to their house. Okay? It makes sense to go to the closest car wash to your house, regardless of who also happens to be closest to that car wash. OP is perfectly reasonable in saying that it's just a coincidence that they happen to be in a similar area just because they live so close to each other, which I'll say, I live 30 minutes from pretty much everyone I know. I see them outside sometimes. You know, it happens. It's not exactly a bizarre thing to come in contact with someone that you've met before, especially when they live that close to you. So I'm going to say, not overreacting. OP is perfectly in the right here, and I think the X is actually overreacting. Let's check the comments and see what everyone else thinks. I never said your world revolved around me. I said you needed to stop coming around my house. It's not healthy. Why aren't you responding to me? You rarely get blatant irony this intense and ridiculous in real life conversation. Cherish the screenshot, OP. This is also how I feel. That is exactly what I felt when I saw this. I never said your world revolved around me. Why aren't you responding to me? Has to be one of the best things I've ever seen on Reddit. You were texting me about what happened to us a year ago, and now you happen to be at a car wash near my house a year after that text. You obviously want me so bad. That pretty much sums up the whole conversation right there. Not overreacting, but I would like to hear what everyone else in the comments of this video think of that particular interaction. Am I overreacting? My ex texting my sister. These aren't exactly in order, but the blue is my ex and the me is my sister. If I'm going to be honest with you, my sister is a what? My sister is a bop and was adding a ton of men back on Snapchat a few days ago and didn't realize she was adding back my ex because his name on Snapchat isn't his legit name. She realized by sliding up on the conversation a little too late into the conversation and saw her texting him about me, and then it clicked to her. Me and him had a messy relationship about 2.5 years ago where he emotionally and mentally abused me. Oh, okay. As well as I had evidence of him on an anonymous Grindr account sending explicit pics to my gay friends and asking them if they would ever hang out with a guy their friend dated. It was all a lot, to be honest. I no longer feel for him at all. I've completely moved on, and I honestly don't even feel mad he was texting my sister like this, but I did want to call him and tell him he's stupid for even trying. It's just insane to me. Why do men do this? The thing that makes me mad is the mentality of this boy thinks he can actually try to get my sister over to his apartment, LOL. So this seems like it may not contain the actual reaction in the screenshots. I think this here is the reaction, and wanting to call him and tell him he's stupid is part of that reaction. So we'll base my opinion off that. Lol. Sorry, I'm very slow. So this is the sister texting here. So let me see you soon. The sister says, what? Why not see my sister? I didn't even know you added me. The ex says, bruh, I wanted you from jump. Ugh. I think we had each other in TikTok or some, but I wanted you from the start. Man, I don't be doing relationships or nothing right now. I'm over boys. So real, okay? You're allowed to do that. We don't gotta date right now. I just want to see you and chop it up. Never a good idea. Never a good sign, even. No. Straight to the point. I commend the finality of that. Why not? Because you literally fuck my duster. because you literally fuck my sister. I haven't seen her in forever, nor fucked her in forever. Like, I'm trying to talk to you. Well, damn. I think it's a fun idea. No, LMAO. That's a crazy idea. This comes across as, I haven't seen her in forever, nor fucked her in forever. This is very uncomfortable. Let's have a look at the comments. Not overacting. That's freaking weird. Also, is your ex 9? Who talks like that? That's exactly what I'm thinking. I snorted out loud at you, my duster. It was pretty funny. Please don't call him. He's gross and truly isn't worth your time or energy. It would be beneath you and he'd take it the wrong way. I would say the same. Judging by how this text exchange went here, I would say if you called him, it would, to him, he would think it's you trying to reach out again. So, absolutely not. Definitely not. Sibling hopping is wild. The whole thing is crazy, but calling your own sibling a bop is wild. I need to look up what this means. I don't know what this means. Okay, here we go. Any woman that you can sleep with easily. I don't know if you're overreacting. How did you react? That's a good question, actually. There isn't really much of a reaction going on here except for this. But I will say that I think the original poster here was not overreacting, and I think it's funny that the ex here decided to go for the sibling. It's just crazy. I'm gonna leave this video here. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and leave a comment as well. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you want to see in the future. I'm gonna try and upload more frequently going forward, now that I have my equipment. I will be setting up better lighting soon. I know this lighting is not the best you've ever seen. In fact, this key light that I'm using right now is just my monitor with real high brightness. And the light over there is just a clock that happens to have a light on it. So I'm going to get a proper LED that's going to sit on top of the camera, and it's going to give me a nice bright light coming from that direction, and it's going to look fantastic. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in all my future videos, because you're going to subscribe right now and put notifications on.